Jimmy Butler is one of the best athletes in the entire world. It's not all about vertical jump or speed, but today we're going to break down his overall athleticism workout, stuff that his trainer did about 4 years ago, so we can see what makes Jimmy Butler such an overall good athlete and makes him so good at basketball. If you don't know who I am, I'm a performance coach, train a lot of good athletes, overseas hoopers, things of that nature. So let's get straight into it. Let's break down Jimmy Butler's workout. I'm outside, so you hear a little bit of wind. I'm sorry. First thing, obviously, like you said, just gain the blood flow going. You always want to try to get some type of warm up in him just to increase blood flow and overall body heat. So this first thing, it's kind of like a metronome where you go based off reaction. So once you see a light, you go. It's really good for reactions, good for some proprioception benefits. And then we're also doing a lateral hurdle hop, which is one of the best plyometrics for lateral change directions and ankle stiffness. Ankle stiffness is super important for your vertical jump, your speed, your change of direction. So it's just an overall good build, overall good exercise. But we're also adding in a reactionary opponent, which is really important for when you're playing defense. When you're playing defense on someone in any sport, you have to react to their movement and be able to once your brain sees a signal, instantly contract the muscle and do that direction you do. So improving that muscle contraction and that ability to react to that actual signal is really important. So yeah, it's overall pretty good. And it seems like they're also, a lot of reps here, but that's okay. It's kind of more of an extensive drill. If it was like on one foot, it'd be a little bit more intensive. This is really good right here. So this is like hip internal and external rotation. If you struggle with deceleration, you probably are tight in the hips in external rotation. If you struggle with producing force, let's say like jumping high or running fast, you probably struggle with internal hip rotation. So this is a really, really good one for kind of just opening up the hips. This is what real mobility looks like. Really tight, opening up tight hips look like, not just passive stretching all the time. This is a dynamic movement that's actually going to open up your hips. It'd be even better if it was under load, maybe on your back somehow. There's some really good methods you could do stuff like that, but for now, this is not that bad. Now this is lateral hops. So you see how the reps went from 20 on the 2 feet to 1. That's because the intensity on the actual ankle is so much higher, because this is much more of a athleticism exercise. The first time with the 2 feet, a little bit more for injury prevention and reaction, a little more extensive, not really going to do anything for your athleticism, but more for your reactionary. But this is a lot more on actual change of direction. It's a little bit more muscle dominant, but it's really going to improve your elasticity, change direction, ankle stiffness. So on 1 foot, really, really key. But it's actually 1 foot landing, so it's a lot of eccentric forces on that 1 foot, which is really, really important. Really good for basketball athletes especially. Okay, anti-extension. So anti-core extension with band resistance. So we're teaching the body how to do, we're teaching the body how to do hip extension with this lower foot right here. You see where my mouse is. With the lowered foot, hip flexion with this foot, and then anti-rotation at the core, or anti-extension. So anti-extension of the lower back and at the core. So you have the band right here, which is more tension at the top, more tension at the top here, and more tension at the top. So it's a lot of tension at the top of every single movement, and then we're cycling through a sprinter stance. Really good for sprinters, for basketball players, good for core and being strong on the basketball court. Overall, that is amazing. Jimmy Butler is freaking hilarious. Oh my God, this is amazing right here. So 3-way anti-rotation. So this band, it's called a Pullups press, right? Pullups press, I'm sorry. So it's a lot of tension at the top, and what it's trying to do is this band is trying to turn him to his left, or to our right is how we see it. So he's trying to turn him and make his core rotate and give out, and also make his knee rotate and give out. But he's maintaining stability in the knee, in the ankle, and in the core all at once, while pressing it away from the body to make it more difficult. And then, yeah, it's just really good for like post defense, being strong on offense as well, like being strong as an offensive player, especially as a defensive player in that defensive stance. He's doing it in a split stance, which makes it really, really specific to offense. Then you want to do it more for like defense, you would do in a two foot stance, quarter squat or half squat. This right here, this is for abduction, adduction. So he's doing a, was it like a copagen or cophagen? People make fun of me for how I say it. My English is terrible, I'm sorry. Where you turn on the adductor, and then you also are doing some core stabilization here. So really good for, just stabilizing the core, which is really important for being strong, being able to jump high and take contact. So many benefits to it. I can name thousands of things, but overall it's a great exercise, right? And then he's also doing a lot of taps here to change the forces of how you're taking in the eccentric, attacks, I guess you could call it, to your core. So changing like the directions the forces are coming from to the core, which is just teaching the body new like movement patterns and like areas where they can actually stabilize. Also having to react and stabilize fast, a lot of reactionary stuff like that, you know. Um, this is a little bit low intensity right here. What he's got to do, oh, a bottle flip. Yeah, that's amazing. That totally, this is like actually probably the best exercise for your vertical jump. Completely transforms your vertical jump. Like 100% best exercise. Hopefully this is a pretty heavy band. Oh, okay, so he has some dumbbells. Okay, I was gonna say, hopefully like we're not tripping here. All right, so I actually want to try this myself. Oh my god, this is a great idea. So he's doing a, what do we have here? What do we have here? Okay, close grip or regular? Okay, regular grip, incline bench press. So upper chest obviously being worked, and then we're doing more tension at the top because of the band. So if you feel like you're doing incline bench presses, and you're not really feeling like your chest activate, which is something I struggle with, my body doesn't really react well to the stretch position, which some people, they swear by the stretch. You know, you get so much muscle gains from doing the stretch, but some people just don't. If you want more tension at the top, like something what I would need, instead of going to a cable, you could use a band. And it doesn't need to be a crazy band, but as long as you have the heavy weight that you're pushing and then add a band to it, it completely transforms the exercise and also helps with extension and strength on the court. So upper body, a horizontal push is really, really important for being strong on the court. Okay, so you want to have one good foundational horizontal movement, but having more tension at the top makes it even more transferable to your actual court movements, to actual basketball in general. Think about defense when you're using your hands, or when you're swiping someone's hand off on offense, blowing by someone. When you're jumping and rebounding, you have to nudge into people. All this type of stuff is really important. That's why you want strength. Look at that chest working right there. Look at the chest. Look at the chest right here, bro. Look at the chest, man. That's like real work for the chest. You're resting. Alright, so he's doing a Refaz, so that's pretty much a 1 foot squat with 1 foot on the back end. He has more tension at the top, and then he's also having to stabilize on that foot. So it's a little bit of a stability exercise, a little bit of also a strength exercise, a single leg strength exercise, which transfers well to your acceleration sprints and to your 2 foot jumps, also deceleration as well. And then he's catching at the top, so more tension at the top makes it harder, helps develop accommodating resistance, or strength speed, I guess some people might call it. And yeah, and then he's also doing an oscillation at the bottom. So this is actually, man, I can literally ramble on and on about what this does, but the oscillation at the top is really good, like foundational movement for your stress shortening cycle. So him at the bottom bouncing up and down, it's, man, it's really, really complicated to really explain in like a simple words, but pretty much it's oscillation movement. It's going to develop the stress shortening cycle, and because of the tension, you're doing more strength at the top, which makes it harder at the top, which just helps you develop overall strength in the glutes, the quads. You're also having to catch a tennis ball, which is just good for reaction and balance. So it does a lot. It does a lot. Right here, this is what I was talking about, really transferring to your defensive stance. So I bet he's going to tap around the ball a bunch of times. So he's teaching his body anti-core rotation and also his reactiveness into the core. So you're stabilizing in defensive stance while also anti-rotating, right? You're resisting deformation in the core, which is really important for being strong in, rebounding, being strong on a defensive stance. So many things. There's so many benefits. Everything I'm saying, every single exercise has multiple benefits. I could just name all stuff all day, but I'm trying to make it as concise as possible. But it's really good. This is a really good defense workout. A workout if you're really trying to improve your lateral defense. This is a really good workout. Neutral grip pull-ups, good for the lats. It's a vertical pull. Every athlete needs a horizontal pull, horizontal push, a vertical pull, and a vertical push. It's just very foundational. Pull-ups are really good for being strong on the court. Good body weight exercise. Yeah, he's tired. Yeah, that's that work right there. That's that work. But since y'all can't hear this, let me try to get y'all into this. I'm not like the biggest fan of this, but maybe I don't understand it. So let me just try to really look this up. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? So it looks like just a very basic like hinge pattern, kind of like a kettlebell swing. Yeah. Oh, RDLs. Oh, I was like, my brain just a little bit off today. Band resistance RDL. So it's more tension at the top. Really good for acceleration. Everyone needs a foundational hinge in every single exercise or every single workout. So if you're training, high intensity 3 days a week, you should be doing an RDL movement and a squat movement. Good tension at the top. Don't need a lot of weight. You're not, messing up any compensations or movement patterns. It's just good. It's just good. Everyone needs a hinge, so nothing wrong with it. I wonder how strong the bands are. If it's really, really heavy bands and it's a lot of tension for him, then it's honestly like doing a whole ass barbell RDL. But if it's really light, then I don't know about that. I'm not the biggest fan. Let's see what we got here. Let's try to skip around because I know you can't hear anything. So this is a hip flexor stretch, it looks like, just off first look. Oh, kneeling sliders. Look at, I don't even know what I'm talking about. All right, this is, man, I like this trainer. So kneeling sliders. So he's in a kneeling position. So this is really good for change of direction if you do kneeling sprints or kneeling jumps. Overall, if any type of kneeling position is teaching your body non-counter movement power, which is your ability to produce ballistic force in like 0.2 seconds the second you're ready to actually produce the force. So when your brain says go, can you produce force from a dead standstill in 0.2 seconds, right? What he's doing is more of a strength version of that. So he's in a deep range of motion with no counter movement, and then he's teaching his body how to produce force laterally instead of actually vertically or horizontally. So it's actually really good for changing directions. Like I said, this is a defensive stance workout. This is like if you struggle with defense, this workout's for you. Not gonna really do anything for your vertical jump, or it'll do some things for your short sprints, you know, your short acceleration speed, but this is a defensive stance workout, which makes sense. You know, Jimmy Butler can lock down anyone. A little more conditioning, a little more extensiveness to it. It's not very power oriented, but it's really good. It's good work, and you can tell. You tell it's good work. So if you guys enjoyed this video, go check out one of these videos. It's gonna be right here in the top left. Go check out the Speed Academy, link in the bio. If you want a free workout from Speed Academy, go check that out. I hope you guys enjoyed. Should you guys do Jimmy Butler's workout? Like, go comment down below. Tell me your thoughts. All right, let's get out of here.